So if you have a fancy machine that can do a really accurate TDR, you have to calibrate it. In fact, I think the machine says that you should calibrate it every 10 hours. It says it's not in calibration unless it's been like the last 10 hours or something like that. So one shift. So you need something like this. This is an N1024A TDR calibration kit, which was purchased with that oscilloscope. Okay. And yeah, don't ask the price tag. If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it. So it has a bunch of stuff inside. Okay, let me move this to the camera. Okay, so what does it come with inside? Well, it's got some stuff of mine in here as well. So it comes with these guys here. So let's talk about those. Okay, and so it comes with 2 loads and 2 shorts. Okay, so the TDR is a differential TDR. You can operate it singly or doubly. I showed a bunch of examples so far of a single-ended TDR, but a dual-ended TDR is where you're sending 2 signals down at the same time. So if you have a PC board with controlled impedance traces and there's 2 next to each other, controlled lengths and everything, you want to make sure that signals arrive exactly at the same time. There'll be little squigglies and stuff on the PC board, and you want to actually measure that. Then you use the differential, where you're actually using 2 channels on the oscilloscope and doing TDR on both, and then you can compare the 2 edges in throughout the circuit. So you need to calibrate it. Okay, you need to calibrate it on both ports, and so everything is doubled. You get 2 loads and 2 shorts, things like that, right? So here is a load and Agilent 902D. Anyways, this is a female load. Okay, these are all 3.5 millimeter. And you can go, hey, wait a minute, that's not good to 50 gigahertz. You're right, it's not good to 50 gigahertz, but the TDR plug-in is only good to 18 gigahertz. And so you really only need cal things that go to 20 gigahertz. So, so anyway, a female load and a female short. Okay, so this is the short, this is the load. Strangely enough, it doesn't require opens. So when you calibrate the machine, I'll show you this in a second, but when you calibrate the machine, it doesn't ask you for an open, it just uses the open. So when it's actually doing the reference plane, we'll talk about reference planes. When you're doing the reference plane analysis, it's done with the short. Okay, that sets the exact plane. All right, so those are the females, and then there's males. This is a male load, and the box. When I received the box, there was no male short, so I had to purchase one. I wanted one to match, and so I spent $75 buying a short. So I'll show you these up close. The load is 3.5 millimeters, and so there's a center pin, there's an air dielectric, and then there's a reference plane. So that reference plane is exactly on the surface there. And then the actual load itself is kind of deep, like maybe 2 or 3 millimeters deeper into the connector, okay? And so if you have a short, it needs to be exactly the same distance in as well. A lot of the cheap open short load things that you get in the nano VNEs and stuff, they're not right. They're not made right, but they're good enough for those frequencies and stuff, and the price that you're paying. They're okay, but they're not correct. They need to be very accurate for this TDR thing. So anyway, like I said, let's see here. All right, so what else is in the box? Some adapters. I don't think those are part of the kit. I think they're just thrown in here from the last person who had this. All of this stuff down here is just extras. Maybe it did come with some things. There's some loads, some extra little loads in here. Here's a 3.5 millimeter to 3.5 female adapter. I threw in a bunch of this stuff too. Here's a male adapter. This is one of those cheapy VNA shorts. Much different than a nice fancy short. This one will do it at a different reference plane. So let's talk about reference planes. Here's a diagram of a 3.5 millimeter connector. So here's our 3.5 millimeters, and so it's set sideways. The center pin is here, and then the extra. So what the point with here. So this is the center pin, and then this is the little barrel inside. That's the mating, and so all these things kind of mate on this plane right here. In fact, it's actually spelled out here, reference plane. Reference plane, anyway, it must be in German. Reference plane. And so when you mate two things together, this is where you're saying is the reference plane. Now, in these calibration things, though, the reference plane now means something different, because the reference plane is actually going to be back here somewhere. The short and the 50 ohm load is going to be some distance back from this reference plane. And so when you calibrate the machine, you say, I have 0 electrical length. That 0 electrical length is going to be from here. All right. Okay. It also comes with some real expensive cables, 2 of them, probably cut to length very accurately. So you get good differential stuff. So 2 of those cables. I have a bunch of attenuators in here as well, because I want to make sure we don't blow up the machine. It's plus or minus 2 volts. Don't go above that or you'll blow it up. So just keeping a bunch of attenuators in there as well. I talked about having a high bandwidth splitter. So I was given one, but I purchased another one, so I have 2. This is just a nice 50 gigahertz a splitter. It's just resistors, but it when you measure this thing, it's 50 ohms in every direction and perfect, and it's just super nice. Okay, so I got this for a good price on eBay. Yeah, let's go take a look at the actual calibration. That's kind of fascinating. All right, we've gone to TDR. We'll do a cal. And we will, there's a bunch of things to select, but we'll start the calibration. It's going to ask us to put a short. Where's my short? That's a load. And that is a load. And that is a short. Okay, so it says put a short on number 3, which is number 3 here. Grab the knurling and make sure it doesn't spin. You kind of grab onto the knurling when you torque it down. All right, we'll measure that. All right, it says connect a load. So we'll try to put a load on. Measure that. All right, now it wants a short on channel 4. All right, then I'll load. All right. Now it needs to put in a, we need to connect the two at the reference plane using blah, 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 blah. Okay, or cables. Okay, so we will take one of the supplied cables and so the reason that these port covers are closed like this is because they're static sensitive. They say you should wear a wrist strap. I'm very careful to make sure I touch the instrument, but there's a little nub in here. One of the things you can get in trouble with is if there's any built-up charge inside of your cable, it could do things. So if you just touch the cable to that little knob there, you can short out your cable and get rid of any charge that might be in your cable that's acting as a capacitor. All right, so let's put this one in. This is a real pain in the butt. All right. And cable down below. This is number 4. Number 3 is on the top, 4 is on the bottom. All right. There we go. Measure. All right, so that takes quite some time. So it says the calibration was successful and the file name has been put in, and we should be able to make some measurements. All right, so I have the cursor right there on the 0. That's the kind of the trigger point. It says 0 seconds, and you can see that we're going in the down direction, which is a dead short. And then if we take off the short, it should pop up to the other side. Now we're going up, but remember the short had some electrical length to it, remember? And now this open doesn't have electrical length, and that's what I was talking about, having a reference plane. You can see that it shifted over now. But everything should be correct now. We could take that into account if we really needed to, but usually you don't. Let's go ahead and put a little length of cable on here, just for fun, to see that we're actually measuring TDR. And we need to back out a little ways. There it is. So we are, turn the marker on. Okay. And our marker is here right at 1.4 nanoseconds. All right. Okay, well, that was just a quick introduction to the Cal standards, the methodology, show you the pain in the rear to calibrate this machine. But once you get it up and calibrated, it should hold values pretty good. I don't think it's going to drift off all that much. I think when you really need to do it, when you're doing a differential measurement, where you really care a lot. Otherwise, a lot of the TDR measurements are referenced or relative to one another, and you don't need to pay too much attention to it.